Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Skull Session Recruiting Podcast brought to you by BuckeyeHuddle.com. I'm Marc Givler, joined by Kevin Noon. Our signing day recruiting capsules continue. We are breaking down every player who's going to sign with Ohio State today or has signed with Ohio State today. We're going to go about 10, 12 minutes on all of them, show a little video, go back through the recruiting process, just kind of give everyone a little feel for what the Buckeyes are getting, and for people who don't follow recruiting day to day, hopefully getting them up to speed as quickly and as efficiently as possible here. Onto a legacy prospect, a guy whose name, his father's name specifically, carries a lot of weight around the Ohio State program. The late Will Smith Sr. Obviously, we're talking about Will Smith Jr. 4-star, Dublin Kaufman High School, committed back in January. So he's been committed for almost a year now, and he's now signed in the fold. Not much mystery to this one. He got the offer. Great junior tape that was evaluated. They offered. He didn't take too long to think about that. Committed. Versatile guy. Kevin, just thoughts. You've seen him a lot at, we'll get into this in a minute, but he was not shy for showing up at Ohio State camp. So we've seen a lot of him. Your thoughts on Will Smith Jr.?
I wonder if he got a T-shirt every time, and now he has enough to wear one every day of the week. So, and he had a lot of box lunches too. But I think a lot of people just took this one for granted. Okay, Will Smith Jr.'s in. All right, next, and that happens. I mean, sometimes just with any recruit to a certain extent. But when you look at a legacy guy and you look at an interior defensive lineman, and let's be honest, 3-tech is maybe not the position that people talk about the most when it comes to recruiting. We all want to talk about the edge rusher. We all want to talk about where's my 300-pound, nose. We kind of overlook the threes at some point, and Will Smith has kind of been overlooked in my opinion. But 6'3", 260, fixture at the camps. He's somebody that each time I saw him, got a little more impressed and a little more impressed, a little more impressed. And again, camps are, it's the underwear Olympics in a lot of ways, but I mean, it's an important evaluation tool for the coaches to kind of see what they've got. And then I've had the opportunity to watch, some of his game film and everything else. And I think that the Buckeyes certainly have something there with him. I mean, he comes out of Dublin Kaufman, a program that is well known throughout the state of Ohio. And I think that that there's going to be a lot of opportunity for him in terms of, he's getting into a good situation where Ohio State likes to roll through defensive linemen. And while his name may not be one of the first ones to get called out of this class of 2023, I think he'll get a chance out there with special teams and some things to be able to show what he's capable of and, go from there.
Yeah, and we joked about the T-shirt thing. He showed up to every single Ohio State one-day camp in June, and I did ask him actually after the last one. I said, "Did you get a T-shirt every day?" He's like, "Yeah," because he paid the camp fee every day, so he got the T-shirt that comes with it. And so yes, he's got a well-stocked wardrobe. But what's interesting to me is coming from the defensive system he's coming from. The defensive fronts that Kaufman uses are so fascinating to me. They're so multiple up front. It's kind of like organized chaos. It's just, yes, at times he'll line up, out on the edge. At times he'll line up in front of a guard. They'll move him around, but they will oftentimes stand up all of their defensive linemen, and you don't know who's coming and who's dropping and who's, if there's a twist, you don't know where these guys are coming from or where they're going. And so he's already been part of a pretty complex defensive system. So it's going to be, I think that's going to serve him well in terms of getting on the field at Ohio State, where they may ask him to play a couple different spots. They may try you certainly they're going to try him at 3. If he grows a little bit, they may even try him at 1, especially in passing situations to get a little more size out there. So you're not playing, 4 defensive ends necessarily. Just, you want you want to tackle out there and take up some space in the middle. So I think they're going to ask a lot of him. And I think he's prepared to do that. He's a smart kid. He's explosive. He plays extremely hard. He's one of those guys. He does play a lot of end. We just talked about how multiple they are up front and how he's moved around, but he does play a lot of end. That's probably not going to happen at Ohio State, but I think he's one of those like gap shooting defensive, 3-tech defensive tackles at Ohio State. I think that's kind of what he's going to be. But yeah, like I said, what plays with great motor, great intensity. We got to see him a lot at the camp circuit. I got to watch him play against Olentangy Orange during the season. He had a really nice game there. Had a sack, had a key force fumble, and made some impact plays. Kevin, how old does this make you feel? Unfortunately, his dad did tragically, pass away a few years ago, but I know you and I both loved watching Will Smith Sr. And how old does this make you feel now? We're not, doesn't feel like we're that far away from watching him. His dad played Ohio State and played in the NFL with the Saints, and now we're covering him. It's just kind of one of those things.
Yeah, I feel very old. I mean, I generally, especially with cold weather, I'm feeling very old every day to begin with as the joints start to ache. But as we see players that, it's not a case of, oh well, I was in school with this guy or whatever. I mean, I was out of school when Will Smith Senior was playing. It's kind of just crazy to see those situations where their sons are being recruited, and the heck, their kids that have already come and gone through the system that have done that. But Will Smith Senior obviously was so instrumental during his run at Ohio State, and then obviously went on and had a tremendous career with the New Orleans Saints, and gone too soon. But yeah, I feel really old, and I've talked to Will Jr. on a couple of occasions, and it's just always always in the back of my mind. I'm just like, oh God, I remember when your father was your age, but I mean, how do you bring that up at that point? Oh my God, this creepy old guy is even older than I thought.
Yeah, it just it is one of the cool slash. It's got some positives to it, it's got some negatives to it. It's on one hand, hey, we're still here doing this. On the other hand, it's like, oh gosh, we're still here doing this. And we're getting old. So, but yeah, I think again, maybe a little underappreciated as a commitment, just because I think everyone expected it, especially once he got the offers. Like, oh yeah, of course he's going to commit to Ohio State, but. I love the energy that he plays with. I love the consistent effort. I've seen guys over the years, even guys that had great careers at Ohio State. I mean, this is just kind of how teenagers are sometimes. I've seen guys over the years that, you don't really know at the high school level what level of effort you're getting from one play to the next. Or, oh man, this isn't really a big game. And you can kind of tell he's like, maybe I'll just kind of coast tonight or whatever, or coast on this series, or, and some of those guys have still went on to have great, college careers and NFL careers, but I've never seen that out of Will. Just elite effort every time I've watched him. Again, you camp every day. I don't care that he lives 15 minutes away from campus. Most guys do not do that. Even they've recruited a lot of local kids over the years. Even someone like Jack Sawyer, who I consider someone that has a tremendous work ethic. Jack would come to like 2 or 3 of them. He didn't come to every single one. Like they had to actually stop him. The one day he showed up, I don't know, it was like 3 camps in 4 days or whatever it was, but it was like during the really serious stretch of their camps. And he showed up and they just told him, like, you're not working out today. Like, come hang out with Larry Johnson and watch the reps, take mental reps and do this, that, and the other. But we're not putting you through the full workout today. It's you've done this like 6 times already. So
You can
they
you
had
can,
to,
you can lead the workout at this point.
right. And so they kind of had to, they almost had to like talk him back a little bit the one day, just like, hey, you've done this like 3 times this week. We can, just take some mental reps today. So you love to see that. You love the energy and the effort, the enthusiasm. He seems to love to play the game. So one of those kids that, you root for on a personal level, just, you want to see him do well. But yep, another excellent signing for Ohio State, and a kid with a lot of promise. So we will move on to our next one. But again, BuckeyeHuddle.com. We have all these breakdowns. We have some written stuff around it. We have other written pieces, written analysis from all of our guys. Message board. You come interact with the fans, kind of ask us questions that you might want to have posted, and kind of get us all together and answering. So we'll be on the board to answer questions. If you just want to watch, it's youtube.com/BuckeyeHuddle. Please subscribe to the channel and like the videos if you get a chance to do that. And if you just want to listen on your on podcast, we have audio. We have all of our capsules are in audio form on your podcast platform of choice. But until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and we will see you on the next one.